Hey now, ladies and gentlemen, getting some info on what happened in New York this morning. The suspect accused of deploying this incendiary device had anti-ice stuff on him. I don't know what that means, like T-shirts or, whatever. But he was an anti-ice guy, and it's great that they hemmed him up so fast. But left-wing terrorism. Oh, imagine that. It's left-wing terrorism. And, it's also, I think this goes to low T as well. You get so emotional because of a lack of testosterone that you end up doing crazy things, irrational things. Now, this is not saying that women, because they don't produce a lot of testosterone, do crazy things. I don't want anybody to try to correlate the two. But there is irrational decisions made when your testosterone is low. And I think that's what we saw today. That is a perfect example. (205-545-9950) 545-9950. What I would tell the Democrat Party, if they want to be manly men, if they actually want to figure out how to portray that they're a man, that they are the party of men and that they have manly men within their party, go to the Boston Be a Man page and listen to that guy's advice. The guy that does the Be a Man clips, little short clips. And every single day he's giving out advice on how to be a man. We've got some of those, don't we, John Bird?
Yep, got them lined up and ready to go.
Yeah, let's just, here's the advice. If I'm talking to the Democrat Party, this right here is what I'm saying.
Drink too much at a family reunion and embarrass your wife and kids. Be a man.
That's a good piece of advice right there. Be a man. Give me some more.
Can't afford a vacation? Just drink until you don't know where you are. Be a man.
That's how to be a man, Be a man. And we got more of them?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Let's keep rolling with it.
All right.
When you have to go on a job interview, sit down and immediately tell them you have to go take a dump. Be a man.
We'd laugh at that one.
Yeah, that's good, man. Be a man. Give me some more.
If your hands are dry, don't use lotion. Spit on them. Be a man.
You can't tell me. Everybody's done that before. You can't tell me. If you're a man, you can't tell me you haven't done that. Don't put lotion on your hands. Just spit on them.
Yeah, either spit on them. And you know what? If you're, if you've had to take a dump out in the woods or whatever, you can just rub your hands in dirt. Dirt is so cleansing.
Yeah.
Just rub your hands in the dirt. And if there's nothing around to wipe with, just grab you a handful of dirt and take care of it.
Yeah, sometimes I'll go to the kitchen sink just to run water over my hands if they get dry.
Oh, heck, I'll go to the kitchen sink if I need to pee.
Just pee in the sink.
Yeah, I'm a bachelor.
Give me some more man advice.
Okay.
This is for the Democrat, but strictly for the Democrat Party, nobody else. This is how you be a man.
If your wife and kids want to see more of you, get a job on TV. Be a man.
We got a couple more if you would do.
Yeah, go for it.
Stare at the mechanic the whole time he's fixing your car. Be a man.
I do that too. Because you're interested in seeing what they're doing, And I don't know, part of it, especially with older people, like they want to make sure they're doing it right. So they're watching them the whole time.
Yep.
Like they'll actually walk back in the shop and sit there and watch them do it. I do that at work trucks, but work trucks, those are my boys. So I'm kind of.
Yeah, just hanging out. Just
I
talking.
feel like I got VIP treatment over there. Is there
more?
more?
There's one more.
Okay, let's go.
Here we go.
If you have a really bad sunburn, take Viagra. It'll keep the sheets off your legs. Be a man.
Oh, that's so
a man.
It's so good. That's how you be a man. Come on. Anyway, I got all the advice that they need. I could do that all day. Last week, we did find out, and I think this is a great move. Pete Hegseth announced that it is going to be mandatory. They're going to do mandatory annual testosterone screenings for all U.S. military service members aged 30 and older. And everybody's like, oh, my God, you can't do that. Why not? Why not? And if we've got to implement some TRT, some sort of testosterone treatments in the military, so be it. Of course you want your members of your military to have high testosterone.
Yeah.
For the men, obviously. But I don't know. I mean, give it to the women, too. Who cares? I think women's once a month, they get a boost of testosterone. Isn't that how that works? And during the ovulation cycle, doesn't their testosterone go up?
I don't know. That's a question for Dr. Dingaling.
Yeah, that's a good point. Could you maybe text him and find out? Just say, do women's testosterone levels rise once a month?
Yeah.
I think that's true. I think I saw that somewhere. Which is why they make such brash decisions. You know, they got that testosterone going and they're feeling confident all of a sudden. There's less overthinking. When you've got testosterone, when you got high testosterone, you don't overthink as much. And so, not that you'll make good decisions, you'll just make decisions quicker. And most of them may be bad decisions, actually. But I don't think that's a bad idea. I think they should absolutely do it. The left calls it toxic masculinity, but I call it common sense. Hegseth says that the Department of War, we have the most elite warriors on the face of the earth. Every single day, you are pushed to your absolute physical and mental limits to master the profession of arms. We demand your all, and you give it. But while we invest heavily in our weapon systems, platforms, and gear, our most decisive tactical advantage will always be the individual warfighter. We have a sacred duty to maintain that advantage, which is why we must constantly look for new ways to optimize your performance, your resilience, and your long-term health. And to meet that commitment, today I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. Because it's well-established science that as we age, testosterone levels often naturally drop. Under the supervision of our world-class medical professionals, warfighters aged 30 and older are going to be tested annually as part of their periodic health assessment. It's a health assessment that happens every year. We're just adding this test. Those under 30 can voluntarily choose to get the test as well. If treatment is recommended, it's entirely your choice to receive testosterone replacement therapy. This initiative is not about artificial enhancement. It's about restoring and optimizing your natural capabilities, protecting your longevity, and ensuring you have the biological foundation required to sustain the fight.
Yeah, I just got a response back.
What do you say?
All right, Dr. Dingaling says, there's nothing worse than French kissing a chick with a beard. If I can't be on top, then she's got way too much testosterone going on. No tea.
So, but that doesn't answer the question.
Well, I mean, obviously he doesn't want the women. You don't want to be giving women any testosterone.
Hold on. Dr. Dingaling's no help. Let me AI it. Do women's testosterone rise during you know what?
During you know what?
I swear I heard that somewhere. It says no, they do not. They're typically at their lowest or near lowest point then and instead peak around mid-cycle. What? So it's the opposite? Okay, so I don't know where I heard that.
Yeah,
I just
so
made
if you're
that
riding
up.
a bicycle, it's higher.
Yeah, something about a cycle.
Bicycle?
I don't know.
What the heck?
No, I
I'm
don't know.
confused.
But Ashley Webb, who was running for Senate in Maine, definitely had the highest testosterone on stage, even though she has her menstrual cycle out her backside. Anyway, that's enough of that. That is enough of that. Let's keep moving. 205 545 9950. 545 9950. When we get back from this break, we'll hop on the phones. How does that sound, everybody? You're listening to The Line Talk 99.5. More coming up. Looking through the text line. Dang, is it almost 12:30 already?
It sure is.
Trucker Jack says a pissed off woman on an adrenaline high is way too dangerous. They don't need any additional help with it. It's just not safe for anyone near them. King Rusty says you got that from the Theo Vaughn podcast. He said I just listened to it last week. Okay, I think that's right. I think that's where I heard it. Wait, thanks a lot, Theo. You got me over here lying about stuff. Bubba Rumble says, have periods out of the uterus in your behind. Be a man. Man. That's enough of that. Let's keep moving. Dixter's on the line. Dixter, what's up?
Hey man, do you remember the first time you ever had sex?
I don't know. I'd have to really think about it.
Well, I do because I was by myself.
Oh, wow. What?
I don't know whether to. I guess it's too late to hit the button.
What is I mean the fact that Dixter just dropped the mic. Dixter's always got a lot to say. Surely his phone cut off. Like he didn't mean to leave it at
Well, he
that.
does have problems with his phone. I think where he lives.
We got a weird audience, man. Let me grab Rick real quick. Rick, what's up?
Hey now.
Hey now.
Y'all so smooth. I don't know how you do it. How you go from thought to thought.
We're smooth like butter.
That's right. Check into that GERD. Acid reflux. But, people are so gullible. I mean, easily manipulated, brainwashed. They'll drink the Kool-Aid if there's a big turd in there.
That's right.
What's happened to critical thinking? Come on, wake up, America.
Yeah. It's going out the window, Rick.
I don't get it. Everybody's driven with emotions. There ain't no logic.
None.
When are we gonna wake up? When it's too late, maybe? I don't know.
Let's hope not. Let's hope it happens sooner than later.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's I wouldn't dismiss the low testosterone epidemic in this country being a reason for why we see what we see, because it is a mixture of things. It's not just as men get older, yes, naturally their testosterone goes down, but in younger people, with the, countless ingredients that they've put in our food, some of which are poison, like there's just all these things that we consume that alter our chemical makeup, our internal makeup, including testosterone, and it suppresses it. And it causes people to, men in particular, to get in their feelings, and instead of thinking critically about certain things or topics, they run off emotion. And that is, there's nothing wrong with getting in tune with your feelings. I don't mean you have to completely disconnect from that. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that claim things like therapy and whatever else helps them. And if that's the case, man, more power to you. But, you need to use your brain more often than a lot of people do. There's no reason that we should have a rise of socialism in this country, but we are, because people are thinking with their emotions. Just like that Caleb Hammer clip. This lady was worried about 30% of Americans working for minimum wage. Well, she didn't do that because she didn't say that because she used her brain. She said that because she emotionally feels like 3/4 of the country is making minimum wage. Your emotions are usually not based in truth. It's the same way with being transgender. Like, you identify as something else because of your emotions and not your brain. Your brain would tell you, and they claim their brain tells them they're a different gender. Your brain would tell you that science cannot be changed. Can it be manipulated? Absolutely. All you got to do is look at different things like climate change and whatever else. That stuff can be manipulated. Like Donald Trump just put out a True Social about the National Academy of Sciences publishing fraudulent, biased climate change manuals that have influenced policy. And the reason that those influence policy is because the NAS is used by federal judges. It's used by politicians on policy. It's used by, different organizations or people within the government that approve grants to individual groups for green energy or whatever it is. Listen to this. I'll give you exactly what he said. He said, the National Academy of Sciences has historically published analytical scientific manuals expressly for a federal judiciary. Of course, the Academy has been run by radical left Democrats who, it turns out, published fraudulent, biased, and misleading manuals on climate change. These bogus manuals were used by judges to decide massive climate change cases and have created huge losses across our country. These manuals have been totally discredited. Our nation's federal judges deserve facts and science, not political fraud and false science on climate. With this truth, I hereby order federal suspension and debarment officials to review this conduct. Our taxpayers should not be funding climate fraud, and judges should never have to rely upon it. Well, that's a good point, though. Can't really argue. And climate change has always been able to they've been able to cram that down people's throats because the people that give out the grants to groups, say, within the National Academy of Sciences or whatever specialty group that's studying the atmosphere or studying the climate, they would essentially say, yes, we need you to do a report on this. We need you to do a report on the changing global temperatures. And we will give you a grant for that. We will give you $5 million to write this report. The only stipulation is it has to provide us with this outcome. Don't care how you get there. Don't care how you use the science or how you manipulate it. Just make sure this is the outcome at the end of the report. And that outcome would always be climate change is real. So when this manual gets sent out from the National Academy of Sciences and it says climate change is real, well, then guess what? They just assume that that's the truth. But in reality, it turns out to be a big old fat money racket. That's how they operate. But anyway, back to the liberals. There's a lot of people saying their vote is up for grabs that have always been on the left, and that spells big trouble for Democrats. 205-545-9950. Ernest Financial bringing you this part of the show. RetireWithErnest.com. RetireWithErnest.com. My buddy David Ernest looking out for you when it comes to your retirement, man. You want to make sure that's locked in. You got to get it locked in. If you got over 50K in your retirement, whatever that may be, 401K, 403Bs, IRA rollover, tax-free, tax-deferred, I don't care. If you've been saving your money, make sure it's protected. And calling David Ernest doesn't cost you anything. They don't get fees from you. They get them elsewhere. You don't have to worry about paying anything. They just get your money protected and make sure it grows and then help you convert that into a plan as to what retirement looks like, how you're able to dole the money out and make sure you keep your money. I mean, there are ways, as most of you guys know, where you can, after building up that money over the course of years and you working, for decades, you can just simply live off the interest. And you can do that in a way that you ultimately leave money for your children, leave money for your grandkids, and still live a very comfortable life, that life you wanted to live. So if you haven't done that yet, you got over 50K. I mean, if you're around 50K, just if it's around that, or maybe it's even way higher than that, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and make some plans. Get in touch with him. Let him know I sent you, and my buddy's going to take care of you. 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-7233, and online, retirewithernest.com. That's retirewithernest.com. Dexter says on the text line, my wife cut off. She snatched that phone quicker than you could say, don't you do it. So he's saying that's what happened with the phone cutting off. His wife snatched it.
Good job, girl.
So there was more to the story, but she didn't want him giving out all of his personal information, which was a little shocking. Because of the way the left is acting, whether it's the, pretending to be the party of manly men, or the trans stuff, or the immigration stuff, or even probably the worst of all, the communism stuff, the rise in socialism, that has got some Democrats, lifelong Democrats, saying that their vote is up for grabs, that it is in play. Oh, I do want to say, on the front of being a manly man and doing man stuff, J.D. Vance and Usher just welcomed in their newest baby boy yesterday. So J.D. Vance has got a new baby.
Nice.
Which is something Ashley Webb cannot do. She cannot give birth to a baby. But Bill Maher, of all people, who does not like Donald Trump, does not like Republicans, has always been a liberal. For the first time I ever remember hearing this come out of his mouth, he said in an interview to Jonathan Karl that his vote is up for grabs.
You told J.D. Vance you're open, your vote is up for grabs.
Yes, my vote is in play because it can't be Trump running.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not living in communist America. I mean, I know the talking point is that, well, it's not communism, it's socialism. Okay, I've read the quotes from the DSA platform, from their own mouths. Don't tell me I'm not seeing what I am seeing. And DSA, again, they say things like, takeover of key industries, government. That's communism.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we've seen it happen all over the world. And so for Bill Maher to say that puts the Democrat Party in a very bad position. Because there are many liberals out there, people that are older people. I say older people in their 50s, maybe late 40s, 50s, even 60s, that are old school liberals that have been programmed to think that Republicans are bad. They used to, back in the day, liberals would hate Republicans because they viewed them as only looking out for rich people and not the working man. That they were just a bunch of rich old white guys and not worried about middle-class Americans, and that's who Democrats were fighting for. And I guess in their pursuit, in the Democrats' pursuit to bring back the idea that they are for the working man, instead of working their way back towards the middle, they decided to go further left and say, we're for the working man, but we're going to do it through socialism. And a lot of people are like, that's not going to work. So these people that are middle-aged, those people that have long supported the Democrat Party listen to individuals like Bill Maher. They listen to Bill Maher and they take his advice. They feel like, hey, I'm a Bill Maher Democrat. And if Bill Maher is telling people that I'm willing to vote for a Republican, that one opens the door to humanize candidates within the Republican Party, which is what Democrats have always fought against. But two, saying almost you can vote for the Democrat Party because they've gone so far left. Like they are literally importing socialism into our politics. And they don't seem to have any remorse for that whatsoever. Normally, both parties back 20, 30 years ago would have been ringing the bell for a 5-alarm fire if socialist candidates were being elected within their party. They would crush those individuals. They would pull all funding from them. They would not support them. They would distance themselves. But now the Democrat Party is embracing these people. It's like our one caller mentioned with the Democrat Maine Senate Democrat debate, right? You would think that those individuals would distance themselves from Graham Plattner, who also himself claimed he was a socialist, but he's also accused of rapist. And instead of distancing themselves, they embraced Graham Plattner's ideas and said, yeah, I liked everything about Graham Plattner, except for his controversies. It's like, what? Are you that married to socialism at that point? The answer is yes. The Democrat Party has married themselves to this idea of socialism, and they fully plan to implement it. It won't be long, and the old guard's going to be pushed out. Nancy Pelosi's being pushed out. Chuck Schumer will be pushed out. All of these people that have stuck around, even the craziest of them, they're going to be pushed out. And there's going to be this new generation of candidates that actually believe socialism works. It's a scary thought. And I would be worried if I was a Democrat. Johnson Hoover, John, what's up?
I just had a thought. All you were talking about the Democrats and Republicans here, but did you ever try to contact our Senator Britt in Washington, or even our local number? I don't know where she gets her information from, but every time I call in the past year, they say leave a number, no matter when it is, and they never call me back. So she's getting constituent information, but it's not from her constituents calling her. Am I having that trouble, or is it anybody else?
I don't know. I mean, the audience can let us know. They can text in and let us know if they've been attempting to contact Katie Britt and not getting an answer.
Well, yeah, I went to Washington. I went to the local numbers here, and they all ring. And when they come on, they say we're busy, leave a number and we'll call you back. But they never do. So, and I thought, well, how do you get your information from your constituents? That's the thought occurs to me. And if anybody else has that problem, I'd like to know. But maybe it's me. Maybe they don't like my voice or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. If anybody says anything about that, I'll put it out on the radio.
Appreciate it. Bye now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't tried to call Katie Britt lately. I've never talked to Katie Britt. I was, I was a non-fan of Katie Britt originally. She's not bad. She's not a bad senator. I mean, she's obviously a solid conservative. She's not perfect. And I felt like, she was given that seat just because of who she was, but that's the way those things work, I guess. just like we're seeing in South Carolina with Lindsey Graham's sister. You know?
No, I don't think it's like that.
Well, in the sense of you're next in line. I mean, yeah, it's a little different, but it's, I mean, she's all right. Like I don't really have anything to bash her about right now, but I've had my issues, and I'm sure I'll have more issues in the future. But
Yeah, but she's very active.
she is. I'll give her that. Let's see. Larry is on the road. Larry, what's up?
Hey guys, enjoy the show when I can listen. Just wanted to ask you a question or two. In reference to what transpired with the media not covering Trump last week, the major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC,
Yeah.
I mean, all of the files that he said that's been relinquished to, I guess, to these different networks, I mean, has anything been said or done or anything been relinquished? Do you know?
You mean relinquished in what way? Oh, as far as the FCC license of these companies?
Not just that, not just from that standpoint, but the fact that he said that there was millions of files that China was involved in, and the fact that they didn't even make an effort they didn't make an effort to cover it, and them being major networks and us being public citizens, not just the scrutiny from that perspective, but also the fact that it's like been a backyard of crickets lately. You haven't heard nothing from. If they've relinquished these files from Washington or from the White House, you would have thought you'd heard something by now, but you haven't heard nothing about all of this information that China's been involved with, so to speak, if you know what I'm asking.
Right. No, I get it. And what they've done, because Donald Trump didn't just announce these things, he provided receipts. He put the files on the White House website. The media companies, CNN. So I got multiple TVs in here, and one of them stays on CNN. CNN in particular has stayed away from that story completely since the day after. They just said, "Oh, it's all fake. He's just making this up. There's no evidence." They have not, from what I've seen, even mentioned it since, and they can't because they have no way to refute what is on paper, what is in the CIA files, where they openly admit in their own writing that they were removing this information from the presidential daily briefing so Donald Trump wouldn't know anything about it, and that they made this effort in order to keep Donald Trump from having anything that would benefit him in the election.
With all due respect, and I'm going back in the past for just a second, but think about it. When they actually attacked Mar-a-Lago and they took everything, you heard nothing forever. They never found anything, so to speak. Would you agree with that? And so far in reference to what Trump has said, especially with this, in reference to the 2020 election, these networks aren't they're kind of sitting on their hands, so to speak, if you get my drift. But I just wanted to throw that out there and get your opinion more about it, because we're talking about major networks. The public citizens have the right, and they didn't cover nothing. It just pisses me off, so to speak. Love your show, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Larry. Yeah, I think most people are with you, including myself. Like, it's infuriating to know that these companies who claim to be news organizations are able to silence, not silence, but to go with a complete blackout of a major presidential address. They want to do their part, and these decisions are made by the executives up high. It's not even like these decisions are made by Potato Head Brian Stelter or Abby Phillips or whoever's hosting a CNN show. They're making those decisions from the top, and they're doing so because they don't want to benefit Trump in any way, and they don't want to benefit J.D. Vance coming up in 2028 or Marco Rubio or whoever it is. It is part of the Democrat machine. And what's interesting in this instance is the fact that the receipts came with this speech. They're available widely. Well, where normally you would have CNN or MSNBC spin this story into oblivion and come up with all these different angles as to why what Donald Trump said was a lie, they have had to just completely stop talking about it. Nothing at all. Because for years now, for 6 years, They have told you and told the world that meddling in the election is a complete conspiracy theory, that it didn't happen in 2020. Nothing was altered. Nothing happened. There was no benefit given to Joe Biden whatsoever. 81 million votes was what Joe Biden garnered, even though Joe Biden was possibly one of the most unpopular candidates in recent history. He's ran for president countless times and couldn't get any traction. All of the evidence is right there, and that means they can't touch it. They can't even spin it as they normally would. So they have to completely ignore it. And I think they knew that going in. They knew that there were going to be files published on the White House website. And so that probably went into their decision not to carry it live when it happened. And it's shocking. I mean, on its surface, it's shocking that we would be in a day and age where they would do that. But they have just made that their thing. Because ever since 2020, they've used the excuse of it's dangerous to put out these lies. Ever since COVID and the idea of censoring people over COVID disinformation, they have almost viewed themselves as the moral authority on what is or is not safe for you to hear. Now, thank God for the internet. Thank God in particular for X. Thank God for Elon Musk. We would be living in a much different world, even 6 years later, if it weren't for Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. Because of that, you're able to get accurate information. You're able to find out, even with AI, with all the problems with AI, you're able to find out the answers to questions that the likes of CNN or MSNBC or NBC or whoever will not give you. It also creates this opportunity for people to bring up old clips, old videos, old sound bites, such as the ones where Kamala Harris talks about foreign countries hacking into our elections and how we need to swap to paper ballots. The years and years, decades really, of Democrats in Congress, on TV, talking about how voting machines are unreliable and easily hackable. Because of social media, because of X, we're able to watch those. And because of platforms like this, I'm able to bring them to you as we did on Friday. It's all laid to bear, baby. So CNN, they can't do anything but zip it.
getting lonely. I've asked myself, is something wrong with you? My girlfriend told me I need some time alone to deal with issues. But something makes me carry on. Still ain't come to understand why I always wanna fly. Do it with the drugs.
Did they finally confirm that Taco Bell was the source of the diarrhea parasite?
I think they did.
I think they finally nailed that down, like for sure. Diarrhea coming from Taco Bell. Imagine that, everybody. Oh, and also speaking of diarrhea and Bill Maher having his vote up for grabs, I noticed Van Jones is exploding. He has explosive diarrhea. He's exploding at the far left socialist radicals as they continue to rise in numbers, seemingly rise in numbers and rise to power, saying, stop pooping in the punch bowl and telling us the turds are ice cubes. That's a quote directly from Van Jones. He said, I'm tired of being told that to be a progressive, I now must swear allegiance to crazy ideas. I'm a strong Democrat with a winning bipartisan track record. I'm rooted in progressive ideals and policies, criminal justice reform, Green New Deal, Medicare for all, free education, clean air and water. These are ideas I have fought for my entire adult life. But some people in groups like the DSA are pushing an agenda far outside those ideals. Supporting Hamas is not progressive. No police, no prisons, no borders is not progressive. Celebrating the murder of Israeli civilians is not progressive. These ideas are regressive. If there were no police or prisons, if anyone in your neighborhood could do whatever they wanted while politicians cheered on terror groups, would that represent progress to you? No, that would be a step back. Those are regressive ideas. He says, on the other hand, if everybody could see a doctor when they got sick, get a good free education and breathe clean air, what would that represent? Would that represent progress? Yes, blah, blah, blah. Some defend the far left by claiming they only want Nordic-style social democracy. If that were true, I might applaud them. I want those policies too. But what does universal health care have to do with Hamas? Well, I'm looking for his turd in the punch bowl. Oh, there it is. He said, yes, we want our Democrat Party to be a big tent, but we don't need a party poopers. Stop pooping in the punch bowl. I agree with that.